am in Piedmont Park making this video. I really think there's some magic to green space inside of a city, and this feels like the perfect place to make my next video. It has become such second nature for me to put my attention into Steve and his life and our future, and then I put my attention and energy into my clients and their lives and their future and my friends and the people I date and the people I care about. And so it's really easy for me to find myself putting all of my energy into others and forgetting that my life also requires the same attention put into mine. And that is something that the universe this past year has been repeatedly sending me messages about, that it is time for the energy that I keep putting out to also be put back into me. And I honestly think I had been getting the message from the universe for quite some time that, hey, hi, hello, Hope, please put this attention and awareness and energy into your own life. But I was so disconnected from my intuition that I was kind of missing the messages. So one of the best things I've done in the past 3 years was to work on my intuition. To learn between what was anxiety and what was my actual intuition was simply observing. I had a feeling. I stopped telling anyone about the feeling, even the person that I was having the feeling about, and just let it unfold. And so I wasn't writing the narrative. I wasn't looking for signs for my feeling to be accurate. I was more so simply saying, I feel something. I'm not really sure what it is. Let's see, and let me just pay attention. And then that actually started to show my intuition what was accurate and what wasn't. It would help me figure out what was an insecurity and what was actually my intuition guiding me. I like to start off in this grounded way because our brains love to write stories, and so they love to fill in blank spots about something happening. And if we aren't aware, sometimes we will assume our anxiety or our little monkey mind is our intuition. And so we got to be tapped in so we can differentiate between what is anxiety and what is your intuition. And for me, I had to learn this by simply observing the way I reacted to situations around me. Okay, so I check in with myself. How am I feeling? Am I feeling rushed? Am I feeling full? Do I feel like I have space for things today? Am I feeling lack of focus? Am I feeling distracted? Am I feeling inspired? Am I feeling depleted in some area? Am I feeling emotionally hungry, like the need to connect with somebody? And we can all tell, like, oh, I'm feeling tired or I'm feeling hungry, but I don't know that we sit down and give ourselves the silence and space enough to really tap into, like, how are we feeling emotionally? Like, where's your head at? Where's your heart at? Are they connected? Are they separated? Is there something that's weighing on you that you need to sort through? And really kind of learning to listen to that. We forget that we have an internal guide and we're looking outwards for all of this guidance when really we have all the answers within us, but we forget because it's too loud for us to hear any of it. And so going silent, even when you're not surrounded by silence, like I'm at Piedmont Park. It's a city in the park. There's people all around me, but I'm hearing the message come through despite the sounds around me because there's silence. I have sat in enough space where it's just me and my process to know the difference between what's mine and what the noise is trying to put on me. And when I actually started to kind of tap into how I was feeling like my only way to feel like I'm serving a purpose is to putting my energy into other people. And once I kind of came to that awareness of, oh, that's why I spend so much of my energy pouring into others, because that's the only way I can feel like I'm serving a purpose. It made me wonder why I was considering myself and my life to not be worthy of the same energy, right? And whether or not that's what I was actually thinking, that's sort of the message I was sending to myself by thinking the only way I can fulfill a purpose is by holding space for other people. And once I started to sort of process some of that, I was able to see that my dreams outside of being of service to others is worthy of my time and my energy, and it doesn't make me selfish. When I got into a better practice of putting energy into my dreams and my goals in my life, I found myself needing less validation from the outside world. And, you know, I found myself seeking less from others because I was giving it to myself. And what's interesting is I've had a journey with dating apps that I will say have led me to some really lovely humans that I'm really grateful I met, and I wouldn't have met them outside of this resource. However, I deleted dating apps because what I realized was A, I was putting so much energy into everyone else's life, but B, I was also seeking validation for my life in these men I was meeting on the dating apps. When I put that energy back into my life, I no longer needed validation from others because I felt validated in my own existence. So when I stopped splitting my energy up between all these people, I was able to see how much, just how much energy I was leaking into others. Elevating other people's lives was one of my missions, but also elevating my own life is one of my missions. I really think these ducks are just like vibing with me. The whole process has brought me back to trusting myself. So when I'm making future plans, I can tap in and say, is this something that will help my future life, my future goals, my future dreams, or is this something that will interfere with it? I also think that pouring energy back into yourself doesn't just mean focusing on your goals and your dreams and making sure you're not outsourcing too much of your energy to others, but it's like taking care of yourself. Self-care is such a weird thing now because a lot of people are like, oh, self-care will cure all your mental health and physical health. It's not true, but self-care can certainly aid in you being able to heal. And self-care doesn't have to be buying yourself a product or using expensive things on your face. Self-care can simply be drinking water and brushing your teeth before you go to bed and washing your face and getting enough sleep and turning off your phone a couple hours before you go to bed so that you get to have some time to yourself. Self-care can be actually eating a meal and cooking yourself food. It doesn't have to be some elaborate thing. My efforts to put my energy back into myself, I don't want it to be confused that I'm isolating myself, because in fact it's been quite the opposite. I have reconnected with old friends, and the friendships that I have held on to, I've been able to connect with them deeper because I'm no longer spreading myself so thin by outputting so much energy into others that I'm able to actually connect with the people that I love, and that, we feed each other's soul at a much deeper level. And I feel far from isolated. In fact, I feel more connected than I have in years, and it's exactly what I've been seeking. And the irony is that all I really needed was to connect back with myself on a deeper level and make sure I was tuning in with how I was feeling and how I was processing and paying attention to where I was leaking energy and where I was giving too much of myself and not enough to myself. And then that's been able to help me connect deeper with those around me. And it's been a really beautiful process that I now get to choose who has access to me and how much access that is.